20 years is a long time. In the gaming industry, it's a few lifetimes. Think about it. Most games live and die in the successes of its franchise character. But NBA 2K has always been different. Although highly coveted, the cover star was never the focus. It was always about the gameplay, which offered gamers a true sports simulation experience like none other. And now in its 20th year, the esports juggernaut has permeated pop culture while redefining just how a video game can make a significant impact in real life. Rising from an almost unheard of beginning to now eclipsing the competition, NBA 2K is no longer just a game, it's a cultural institution.
What's good, bro?
What's up, man? How you been?
Yeah, how you?
Good, man. Good to see you. Let's get into some 2K19, man.
That's good.
In the earlier consoles, like for NBA 2K, the game was definitely a lot more like blocky, and characters look a lot more square. And that was cool back then. I remember like playing that for the first time, going like, the graphics are amazing. You know, like I was blown away.
When you're 8 or 9 years old, you can't dunk. You can do a little bit of dribbling moves, but nothing crazy. You can't shoot NBA threes. You always want to try to make a half-court shot, but you can't because you're not strong enough. You can do all those things in 2K, so it's like, oh, I dunked on someone in 2K.
I just remember being like, yo, this is a whole different basketball game. So I was like, all right, I see you, 2K.
Iris was my favorite player. So to get to visually and digitally control my favorite player was the thing. Never stopped and never looked back.
Something big is always about to go down.
The first time I was like really blown away by NBA 2K, just graphically and gameplay wise, I would say it was NBA 2K6, because when the consoles went from, you know, kind of what we were saying earlier, from like really blocky to like now guys, you can see the muscle definitions and the body types were different. The guys weren't all built exactly the same.
The growth from like 08 and just like this last decade has been crazy. The tattoos and stuff like that is so on par with, you know, the players, also on par with the roster. And then you have automatic updates where a week or so of you know, really good games and my overall goes up a little bit, or I have a week or so of bad game, overall goes down a little bit. So to have the luxury of it being kind of real time, I think revolutionized the gaming industry just because it's so much more realistic.
There's also just these custom, you know, one-off shoes. So like, how do we keep up with, you know, getting these in the game, you know, week after week, day after day? You know, a lot of times we make sure that we get the collabs, you know, before they come out. We send them to our dev team, they scan them, put them in the game. That's how we get like the big releases. But for like the one-off shoes, I mean, that's like a call to Carl himself and be like, yo, bro, can we get them shoes and scan them and put them in the game? And if he's like, yeah, cool with it, then, you know, we'll put them in.
Honestly, the 2K League is a great thing that they're trying to do. It's basically compensating the hardcore gamers. The hardcore gamers usually think, hey, the game is always tweaked and it's focused on getting the casual gamers or the newbies, but what about us? We want to be the best at this thing, and you get to realize that gaming is actually a skill.
How do y'all come up with a rating? You guys literally make grown men like actually like really like upset.
It's a pretty complicated process, and I know that might sound like a cop-out, not a real answer, but what we do is we take a lot of different numbers, you know, from jump shots to free throws to rebounds, and squish them into an algorithm. At the end of the day, that spits out a rating depending on how the player performs in all these different categories. So you would think it would just be a guy at a computer just saying, oh, you're a 71 and you're 82, but it's really not. It's really like this big program that was made just to continuously get new updated stats like every day. And then they have, it fluctuates literally like every week, if not every other week.
Look, enough talk. Let's play.
NBA 2K is so much more than a game. It's a way of life and creating opportunities most of us never would have imagined just 20 years ago. But we've only scratched the surface of 2K's undeniable impact on culture. We haven't even gotten to the music yet.